Alrighty, it's another Frugal Daddy fashion haircut day. I know it seems like every time I cut his hair we make a video, which is almost true but not completely true because some of them we don't. But his hair is just so long today. It's been such a long time since I cut it that I just thought the transformation would be amazing and should be documented. So I just want to show you how long it is to begin with. Turn that way.
Ow.
And then he's going to go wash it and get it wet. And then I'll start snippity snipping. So go get it wet. There you go. You want a haircut?
I'm about 6 months overdue for a haircut.
It's not that long. Okay.
Oh, could you scratch my back? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
All right, go get wet. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you a picture that I just came across of Frugal Daddy from when we first met. Next week is the 10th anniversary of our first date, and this is kind of what he looked like in the beginning. You know our Sheltie dog that you sometimes see running around, the furry pig we like to call her? This is when she was just a little puppy. So don't fast forward to that. Don't just try to jump to the end. No. You know what? I think it actually may have been about 6 months since your last haircut, because I'm thinking the last time we did it was when I talked about quitting my job, and wasn't that in like September or October?
Yeah.
A while ago.
It's the longest I've ever been in my life.
Without a haircut?
Yeah.
It's very fluffy. Well, of course, the obvious frugal thing going on here is that by doing haircuts at home, you save tons and tons of money. And men's hair is super easy to cut because it's just kind of short all over. I know women's hair can be harder because you want to go in a straight line and then, oh, one side's a little shorter and then you have to even it up and then you have to even it up and then it's too short and then the recipient of that haircut cries and that's bad. But men's hair is so easy. Where do you part your hair? Over here. Okay. And this gives us time to chat and catch up. So anybody who thought I was just going to be quiet and cut his hair, well, you're wrong, because that's obviously not going to happen. And I'm not giving instruction on how to cut hair, because I'm not a professional hairdresser, and what do I know? I just kind of cut it short all over the place. Right, dear?
Right.
But do you love the haircuts I give you?
They're the best haircuts I've ever received.
Frugal Daddy, I have to say, is a little bit on the vain side. So honestly, if I didn't give him an incredibly great haircut, he wouldn't allow me to do this. He would go out and spend money,
yeah.
wouldn't you? He would. And I would be very upset about that.
I used to spend at least $30 for a haircut and then give her a $10 or $20 tip just so.
You gave a $20 tip for a $30 haircut. You spent $50 on a man haircut. You could have just gone to a barber.
I know, but it was a good haircut and...
Yeah, but how good does it have to be? Like, you're a man. It's short. I think that's crazy. Anyway, people have asked how my leg is, so I'll give everybody an update on my leg. It's super great. Thanks for asking. The bruising is all completely gone. The part where I scraped the skin off is all healed up. It's still a little bit swollen, a little bit lumpy in kind of a weird, lumpish kind of way, but the swelling has gotten a lot better, so... The leg is doing well. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Admittedly, one of my very least favorite holidays. In fact, to be honest, I kind of hate Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, would you like to go into that? Because I'd like to know why you hate it, since...
Oh, there's no great story behind it. I think a lot of people hate it. It's right up there with New Year's Eve for reminding you how sad and lonely you are. I don't know. I didn't even like it as a kid. I've never liked Valentine's Day. Also, don't we agree that Valentine's Day has become way too commercialized, as many holidays have, but, oh my God.
When's the last time you were in a store to see that it was commercialized?
I don't know. I assume by what the girls came home with yesterday from their Valentine party at school.
There was a lot of candy.
It's ridiculous. And little presents, I mean, very generous of everybody, but what happened to just giving a little card that says Happy Valentine's Day? That's all we did. I did bake cookies for the girls. I baked huge heart-shaped cookies, one for each girl, with your basic Nestle Toll House recipe, but I put in white chocolate chips, and then I put their first initial on the cookie in red M&Ms. That was my Valentine gift for the girls. And you ate some of those cookies too, didn't you?
Yes,
Just the regular cookies? Because I noticed there are only about 2 left on the plate.
Yeah,
that hair is
I had
so
one less than an
long.
hour ago.
You finished
Guess
it?
No.
Oh.
Guess how long I've been asking you for this.
How many times have I offered it and then you
Never.
would go take a nap? That's not true. I've offered this many times. And he was taking a nap just before this, and I had to cajole him. I did just poke myself in the chin with the scissors. It's okay. They're not that sharp. Enough about me. Let's talk about me. Oh, I've been meaning to tell you. You know how people have been commenting on who you look like? Yeah. Frugality has a little bit of a fan club out there. One woman said, "Oh, now I remember who he reminds me of. Buddy Hackett." I like that one.
Yeah.
Because Buddy Hackett.
Yeah, what's wrong you do, Buddy Hackett?
Yeah. Yeah, that I actually don't see in you, but honestly, I don't really think you look like
He was good in, like The Great Race or what was that thing?
It's a mad world.
Oh my god, that was funny.
That used
With
to
that
be
helmet,
on.
looked like he had an egg on his
Yeah,
head.
that used to be on every year on New Year's Eve.
Buddy Hackett, huh?
Yeah. At least they didn't say Lou Costello. That one's coming. You know, Lou Costello is the fat one, right? From Abbott and Costello, but Abbott was the skinny one. Mm-hmm. So in one of those movies, I loved Abbott and Costello when I was a kid, and I watched Abbott and Costello every Sunday afternoon at lunchtime. They'd have an Abbott and Costello movie on in our viewing area, which was the New York tri-state area. And I loved them. I cried when I found out that...
They were fake?
No, when one of them died. Oh, I was so upset. But anyway, in this one movie, which one? Lou Costello is having some kind of romantic interest with this nice young country gal, which was pretty rare for those movies, for him to get a love interest. And he wanted to say something to her, and she was encouraging him to say it, and then he backs down and he goes, no, I can't say it. It would sound silly coming out of a fat man.
Oh.
Isn't that sad? And that so resonated with me. Like, that has run through my mind so many times over the years in my own life. Like, oh, I can't say that because that just won't fly coming out of a fat chick. Just saying.
When's the last time... We have mirrors in the house, you know. They put up a couple
I
of mirrors.
actually try not to look in the mirrors
because... Yeah, you should. Once in a while you should.
Why? To see the wrinkles? How many people have commented that I look older than him? And one person, I think, referred to him as my son. Like, I actually look old enough to have a son who's almost 60. So what does that make me, in my mid to late 70s?
Maybe they thought I was in my 40s.
But the picture I'm going to show you at the end...
Oh, God, you're not going to do that.
Yes, I am. Be quiet. Yes, I am. No. You don't have a choice. I've already promised it.
When? I didn't hear
when
anything.
you were out of the room, but we discussed it.
I should have got rid of that. So, that was in a stack of photos.
He shows that to everybody. God. He was...
What?
You were 48 in that picture.
Show it to everybody.
Everybody, yeah. He was 48 in that picture, so...
I wouldn't show that to anyone.
Now, when he and I first met, through eHarmony, he lied and told me he was... How did you say you were?
My neighbor made me lie. I was -5 years. She took 5 years.
Yeah. So you said you were 43. And I was 44 at the time. And I was really not feeling great about dating someone who was younger, even by only a year, because I had a bad experience with dating someone younger once. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'd much rather be with somebody older. And then at one point he was kind of telling me the story of his life and his marriages and like the timeline. And I was like, that doesn't fit with being 43. Like, it just, the numbers don't fit.
Yeah, it wasn't like I never told you. I just forgot that she did that.
Oh, when she set up your profile?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, and that doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, I'm this, and you said, no, you're this, and I said, no. And then
I bet in the realm of online dating, I am the only person who ever was completely and 100% honest with all their information, with the picture, with everything. And didn't I tell you right off the bat, before we met, when we were just emailing, that I have like 9 cats? Didn't I say that? I think I did. So I like people to know right off the bat I have a ton of cats, because I know how men find that attractive. You know what? That's my advice to all people dating. Put all your crap out there right in the beginning, because if the relationship goes somewhere and then they find out later, then they're like, why didn't you tell me? Why would you keep that from me? You have 14 cats and you didn't tell me? Like, then it's not good. But if you put it out there right in the beginning, then that's done. That's my advice. My post-Valentine's dating advice. And don't put a picture of yourself when you were 20 pounds lighter and 10 years younger, because then they're going to see you in person. It's probably better to put a picture of yourself that's just kind of a normal picture, not like a great picture, because then when they see you in real life, they can be like, whoa, you're better than I expected. Not like, oh, you're not quite what you advertised yourself to be. Like when you met me, weren't you thinking, whoa, she's better than I expected?
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't. Did you? No. Did you? No.
I wasn't expecting to date. Remember, my neighbor made me do this, and I'm like, I don't want to date.
Well, he was sort of in the middle of a divorce at that point.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you not want to date. I didn't want to date him either because I had been dumped by the prior boyfriend, and I'd actually gotten over it, and I'd gotten to the point where I actually thought, you know what, I'm happier not being in a relationship. Like, I'm happy being on my own, and it takes all the pressure off.
Yeah.
And I just liked it. So when I made
my email came through.
Yeah. And when I met him, I was like, oh, I don't want to give up being happy. I'm happier on my own. It's just easier being on my own. Honest to God, being in a relationship. Oh my God, I could so mull at you now because I haven't done the back at all. Oh my God.
So this is what I look like in the 80s.
God, I'm doing such a good job. Woo! I want to tell you a hairdresser story.
How about we keep
popped
going?
into my head. How about you let me tell my damn story?
You can. I'm just getting really...
Yeah, I'm doing it, honey.
I feel like it's been hours.
So, when I was in college, oh so many years ago, up in beautiful New Hampshire, I went out to dinner one night with a friend. And so we're, just sitting there and having whatever we're having, nachos or whatever. And strawberry daiquiris. And we were
Wine
not
coolers.
what?
Wine coolers.
No. Yeah, that was the era of wine coolers, but I was not a wine cooler person. I was a strawberry daiquiri person.
It's so funny.
You know my grandmother called them daiquiris, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
funny.
my grandmother called them daiquiris, so everybody in my family calls them that, kind of like to make fun of her, even though she's no longer here with us to hear us making fun of her. She insisted that because she'd been alive a lot longer, she knew how to pronounce it, and it was daiquiri, not daiquiri. So we're at dinner, and we're not purposely eavesdropping on the table next to us. We could just hear their conversation. And what we gleaned from it was that there was a lady and a man talking, and the lady appeared to be
Cutting his hair while they were eating?
She appeared to be both a hairdresser and a lady of the evening.
Oh.
No. And he appeared to possibly be one of her customers on both of her professions.
Wow.
So she was talking about how
double moonlight.
people like to do it in Jell-O.
What?
And I'm like, they do it, the dirty deed, in
I know, but
Jell-O.
like where? In their bed or in the bathtub?
I was thinking like a kiddie pool,
that's
maybe.
gonna be cold.
Well, first of all, that's a lot of Jell-O
Can
to
you
make.
imagine how cold that is?
It's a lot of Jell-O to make and waste, slopping around in, if you ask me.
How
But
do you refrigerate it?
so she said, okay, well, some people like to do in Jell-O, but she prefers to. This is gross. Hold on to your hats, everybody. Are you ready? You didn't think it was going here. She prefers to do it in hair. She would sweep up the hair from the beauty salon where she worked and have a big pile of like this human hair, and she and her Johns would do it in the hair pile. That's what she said. Yeah.
There is nothing good
And my
about
friend
that.
and I were like,
Oh my god.
you have got to be kidding me. Oh
Which
my
begs the
God,
question.
I can't believe how long this hair is.
I know.
You want to save it and you can do it in your hair?
I told our friend that doesn't have hair, our only friend, that I was 1 inch short of locks of love.
You are not. That's silly. You have to have it much longer for locks of
he
love.
believed me, I think.
Well, he's bald. He doesn't know. It has to be like 8 inches. I think at least you have to have like an 8-inch
6. I could
ponytail.
be wrong. Yeah.
Well, it has to be.
I'm close.
You're not anywhere close to locks of love. Does everybody know what locks of love is, in case you don't? Because we have people viewing from all over the world. We've got people from the Netherlands and France and Sweden and Ireland and the Philippines and all over, which is so fun.
And
Even
Russia.
Argentina, Russia, yes. Locks of Love is a organization in America that will take human hair. You donate your hair if you have really long hair, and they make wigs out of it for people who are not growing their own hair, possibly because of cancer treatment or other medical issues. That's what Locks of Love is. Someone asked how long I've been frugal. I had to give that a little bit of a thought.
I'd like to know that.
Well, I'm thinking since I started my...
Since I moved out of the house.
Yeah, ever since my father cut me off. 30 years ago, I was doing my Master of Divinity. And so as a grad student, yeah, I had to be pretty frugal. I didn't have any money. I mean, I worked as well as went to grad school, but I didn't have like a ton of income with these little part-time jobs. So
Did you live in their...
I lived in the dorm 2 years, and then my third year I had an apartment off campus. I think a lot of people would be surprised, like for those of you who don't already know it, would be surprised to learn that I have a Master of Divinity from Princeton Theological Seminary. That's my first master's, and my second is my master's in social work. Because like I curse sometimes, and actually, I think I did mention one time in a video that I had become a born-again Christian, and so I guess somebody else who was a born-again Christian was like, oh, cool, and they subscribed, and then in another comment, I don't even remember what I said in the video, but she was like, oh, I can't believe you took the Lord's name in vain. So she was unsubbing, and I felt kind of bad, and I apologize, and I'm sure I do all the time. I mean, there is a reason I'm not a minister, though if I was a minister, I'm sure I wouldn't curse quite as much as I do, but yeah, I'm not the example to follow.
Do you know why she told me that she has a master's in divinity, and what did you do? You had to do some pastoring at churches, like Methodist churches or something? Or?
No, Presbyterian.
Presbyterian churches?
I had to do 2 years of
2 years.
like student internship at a church.
And you know what she told me?
What did I tell you?
She hates public speaking.
Oh God, yeah.
Now there's a good profession to go into.
Well, I was never planning to be an ordained minister. I was not called. God did not call me to do that.
What did He call you to do? Go to seminary?
Be a hairdresser. No, I'm still trying to figure out what God called me to do. I think God called me to rescue food from dumpsters so it wouldn't clog up our landfills. To be an eco warrior. Ugh, have your hair all over me.
So you never walked in. You never walked in on your parents doing
doing the dirty?
Yeah,
well, in Jello.
Jello hair.
My parents have never they never did it.
Yeah.
They've never.
Well, I never did.
In their whole marriage, they never did it.
It was a test, and you passed it because
Did you walk in on your parents doing it?
No, I was only kidding.
My brother and I are both adopted. There is no evidence that my parents ever consummated their marriage, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to say what your mother said. I'm doing it right now. I'm telling you. His mother.
Okay.
Let me say it, because it's so gross. His mother told him, this is not the kind of thing you want to hear from your mother, that all of her children, 4, were conceived in front of the fireplace.
She wanted to die in her house because my father died when I was 19. And then she wanted to stay in the house, and she said...
And die in front of the fireplace?
Well, she said, I don't know if I can give up the house. And we were in the living room, and she said, all 4 of you were conceived by this fireplace. Like, oh, I had to look up the word conceived, but...
What, were you like 30 when she told you?
Yeah, I was 20-something.
Are you kidding? You had to look up the word conceived?
I pieced it together through other disturbing memories.
I prefer just knowing that my parents never did it. Your parents were kind of swingers. Didn't they go to swingers parties where everybody has to put their keys in the bowl and then you pick somebody else's keys and go home with them?
No, they used...
We really are almost finished, and you're going to get to see that picture of Frugal Daddy that was taken about, maybe a month after we met.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. No, you're not.
Here's a little spoiler alert. He doesn't have his shirt on in the picture. And why he doesn't have his shirt on, I can't even begin to imagine. It's really bizarre, but yeah.
Why do you keep going straight across at a higher level? So you don't mind me asking?
I don't know.
That's the 3rd time you've gone across at a higher level.
No, it looks really good in the back. No, it's fine. It's fine. You know, like what the medieval monks looked like?
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm going for. Would you ever consider shaving your head and just being totally bald?
I did once, remember?
No. You had a buzz cut. You weren't bald. I mean bald. Would you ever just go with bald?
I went with the lowest thing, the lowest setting on my razor.
Yeah, but you still had, did I know you?
That picture that I had. It was right before my accident.
But you weren't bald, you still had hair. Et voilà! C'est fini! Ah!
Ow. Ow, 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 ow.
What do you think? Do you love it? Look at yourself closely, honey.
Very nice.
Go shake off all the hair. I will vacuum up. And don't worry, I won't
What's
show
going
them
on
the
here?
picture of you.
It goes like that.
All right, here's the picture. Look at him. Wasn't he cute? Why is he shirtless with the puppy? I don't know. He looks so young here. Isn't it amazing? He was in his late 40s. He looks so boyish and tan. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for watching. Oh, I just spit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all again soon.
There.
He wanted to show you the final result.
I know. Doesn't she do an amazing job?
But you have to put up with all that yammer
I
the whole
know.
time.
It's so hard.
You
God,
know, he's deaf in one ear. That's why, because of that.